Good morning, class. Welcome to your new class. So you have reached class 8. So in my previous class, I have discussed about the syllabus. I have given you the brief about the syllabus, what we will be going to cover in this particular session. Now, initiating with that, I will start a new chapter called Operating System. So this is our first chapter. So you must have understood what we mean by computers. A computer consists of different parts such as processor, main memory, disk, printers, and various input and output devices. So we also know that the computers cannot perform the tasks on its own. We need to instruct the computers in order to do the task. So it requires the set of commands from the user to perform the specific task, and these tasks have to be converted in the language which the computer have to understand. So computer, whatever language it understands, that is the binary language, it needs to be converted into that language to follow the instructions. Now we use the simple language. So whatever instructions we write, it needs to be converted to the language which the processors understand, and we need to have a system to interact with the computers to give the instruction. So all the computer systems requires an interface between the computers and the user. The interface is provided by the operating system. So the operating system is an interface. So interface is the link, the middle person which acts as a link between the two devices, that is hardware and the instructions. That interface is the operating system. The operating system is the most important program required to turn on and run the computer. So if you do not have the operating system, then your hardware which is there in the computer system is functionless. It helps to manage and organize the different applications. So another function, the operating systems manages all the applications. Different organizing means keeping it in the proper order, managing means to do whatever is required in particular time and place. That is done by the operating system. A basic input output system is used to start the operating system. The BIOS enables the computers to perform the certain operations as soon as you turn on. Basic input output system. When you just on the computer, the computer starts on its own. That is done with the help of the basic input output system. So when you turn on the computer, the microprocessor tries to process its first instruction. This instruction is provided by the BIOS, and it acts as a interface between the hardware components and the operating system. So this BIOS acts as a interface between the hardware components and the operating system, and the computers runs. So the objectives of the operating systems are, it controls the application. So controlling the application, controlling means how much space needs to be allotted, how much time needs to be given to the particular processor for processing the data, that is controlled by the operating system. To use the computer's hardware efficiently. So hardware, you must be knowing, is a physical components of the computer which can be touched, isn't it? So that hardware needs to run efficiently in order to do some functions. So that is ensured by the operating system. So operating systems also looks after the hardware to run efficiently. It also solves the different problems. The different softwares are there. Different softwares are there for processing software, calculation software, DTP software, web software. Isn't it? So different types of softwares are there. That software needs to be managed. That is also done by the operating system. Now, an operating system is a program. So what is operating system? Actually, what is operating system? It acts as an interface. But is operating system a hardware? No. Operating system is a software. Software means a set of instructions given to the computers, collection of instructions. It's a set of instructions, set of programs that manages the computer hardware and the software resources. Hardware and software resources needs to be managed, that is called the computer operating system. It's a software, operating system software. A computer consists of both hardware and software applications components. So, components of the computers. A computer is made up of hardware and software components. The hardware components, what are hardware components? The physical components, the physical machine and its components form the part of the hardware components. So, you know the hardware, whatever it comes to before your eyes, the CPU, the mouse, the keyboard, the monitors, these are the hardware components. The processor, the CPU, isn't it? So, keyboard, mouse, printer, disk drive, more monitors, CPU. So, these are the hardware components. So, a computer system is made of hardware components, the two components of hardware and software components, and this is managed by the operating system. So, another component is the software component. The program or the application on the computer systems are the software components. For example, the operating system and Microsoft Office applications. So, Microsoft applications, you must be knowing about Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So, these are the software. So, software components and hardware components makes an operating system. Now, this hardware and software components are dependent on each other. So, if you have a hardware, but if you do not have a software, your system will not run. This means hardware requires software to run, and similarly, software cannot run without the supporting hardware component. So, these two are complementary to each other. The main function of an operating system is to provide the platform to run the program. So, you have all the hardware components, but if you do not have the software, operating system software, all that application software will not work. The programs are required to operate the computers. The software programs are broadly classified into two categories, that is system software and application software. So, a computer system is made up of hardware components and software component. Software components can be divided into system software and application software. So, system software has program to manage the computer, it manages the computer. So, operating system is the example of system software, and application software enables the user to complete the task using the different applications. So, Microsoft Office, DTP packages, DTP softwares. So, different types of softwares are the application software which are used for a specific purpose, accounting software. An operating system provides the security. So, another features, another function of operating system, it provides the security to the user to make sure that the illegal users are prohibited from accessing the system. So, software securities are ensured by the operating system. Hence, the operating system combines the hardware application and the data in the computers. This helps the user to use the operating system easily and efficiently. The next one is the operating system is responsible for functioning of the hardware. So, all the hardware, all the peripheral devices which are connected to the computers are responsible for operating system is responsible for functioning. In addition to this, a programming interface is required to run the application on the computer. The command processors or command line interpreter, the interpreters and processors forms the part of an operating system. All the commands are accepted and executed by the command processor. So, command processor which converts the simple language into machine language, that processors needs to be there in order to run the system. For example, when you enter the command in the computer application, it acts as an input to the operating system. The command is processed by the operating system and instructions are sent to the hardware. So, the computers can only understand the binary code that needs the processor or the interpreters will convert the simple code to the binary code, and it does the processing. Again, after processing, it again is returned to the output devices which we understand that is done by the interpreters and processor. They act as a translator. This output is converted into a simple language by the operating system, which is then displayed through the applications to the user. The operating system provides the base on which the other application can run. These programs allows the user to easily perform a specific task. So specific task can be performed because operating system provides the base. Computer resources such as memory, monitor, keyboard and printers are controlled by the operating system. So controlling is done by the operating system also. It allows the multiple program to operate and communicate with each other. So many programs can be communicated and operated simultaneously because operating system manages and control the data and the hardware. So operating systems are of two types. Commonly used desktop and mobile operating systems are there. So desktop operating system consists of Windows by Microsoft. So Windows provided by Microsoft. Mac for Apple computers. So we say Macintosh, Mac. Linux developed by the Unix operating system, Unix based system, that is a Linux, that comes under the desktop operating system. Now the second type of operating system is the mobile operating system, such as Google, Android we have, it's very common term that Android phone. So that is the operating system which is used. Apple, iOS, Windows 10 mobile and BlackBerry. So these are the mobile operating system. So these are the different types of operating systems which are being used. Now for today we'll just conclude it over here. Thank you.